So I wasn't able to do translate and say anything to him, so we sort of had to pretend with actions. I love the fact that you've got a problem like no electricity and you want to build a grain store, so you solve the problem by building your own hydroelectric scheme. Yeah. I think that's wonderful. That's what I love about people when I travel, like yourselves and the Australians, is the can-do attitude. Yeah. I think that's going to be a bit wetter than they think. Now, I'm not a soybean expert, but I think 16%. We'll find out. So it's the 3rd of March, and we're now proper farming. This is wonderful. We've come to a completely different region to where we were yesterday, and I've got in my hand here what they refer to as Bruno latersol, which means brown latersol. Is that right?
Yes,
it's a form
right.
of soil. And I'm stood with Bruno, so it's sharing the same name. But Bruno is standing for brown in this case, and this is 60 to 70% clay. And they're growing 2 to 3 crops a year on this type of soil, with a rainfall of 2 to 2.5 millimeters a year. Is that right?
Yes, 2,000 average, between 1,800 to 2,200 millimeters a year.
Ah. And then this is maize, which obviously is not something I often come across, but this is a non-GM type because they get paid a premium. They're actually harvesting today. The combines are just being serviced, getting ready. They're harvesting this at probably anywhere between 29 to 23 moisture, and they take it down to 15. And on the dryers, they're using eucalyptus wood to heat the dryers to dry the corn. And the yield here is good this year, and they're expecting 15 to 16 tonne a hectare. This is all right, yes, what I'm saying, yes. Isn't it? Okay, good. Yes. And so this is hopefully going to be a good year. But an interesting thing he was just telling me was about interest for this currently, what it costs to borrow money in Brazil. And they could be anywhere between 12 to 15% interest to borrow money for the overdraft or to buy land. So at the moment, it's actually a very difficult, uncomfortable place with high interest rates, which I know we've had a big shift in the UK, but 12 to 15%, I don't know how many businesses in the UK could currently operate on that level. But you're so far, you're quite happy with harvest?
Yes, for this year, it's okay. The price is not so good, but I think the yield or the production probably balance this not so good price.
And then they've got, they planted this in April, they're harvesting it now in October. Sorry, no, that's wrong. Sorry, they planted this in October, they're harvesting it now, they're going to put a cover crop in, and then you plant
barley.
A malting barley.
Yes.
Which is interesting. They're part of a malting cooperative, which is 1 in 3 beers that people drink is produced in this region.
Yes.
And you plant the barley, did you say June?
June.
In June,
After 10 June.
And you harvest that in October?
The end of October.
And then they'll follow that with soybean. Mm-hmm. So is that the rotation, barley, maize and
yes.
soybean?
In the summer, usually 30% of all the field of the area is corn, and the rest, the other is 70% is soybean. And in the winter, before corn, you can't plant or oat or barley. You need to only have a cover crop. And before soybean, okay, then or oat or barley. Usually 80 to 90% is barley, malt barley. Yeah. And then you harvest, and after this harvesting, the same day or day after, you're planting soybean.
Why do you put the cover crop in? Do you need it for erosion?
Yes, especially for erosion, but you have a cleaner field because we have only 2-3 frosts in the year, not snow.
Okay.
And then you need to have a cover crop, and especially because the big of raining.
But you don't have to put a cover crop in for a government subsidy. This is purely for agronomic reasons.
Yes, only agronomic.
And what would a cover crop be? What would be in the cover crop?
Cover crop you usually buy for other farmers that produce this, and it's depends of the year what you use, but you have a lot of different kinds of these cover crops that you can use with long cycles, not so short cycles. Then the farmers choose what probably he thinks is the better way.
So would you use deep rooting turnips, for example, to try and break the land?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you use livestock to graze the cover crops?
We don't have livestock. In the past, we did this, but nowadays, usually in this region, every year you see not so much livestock or only more agriculture.
And is this no-till
Yes.
farming?
No-till.
Everything?
Everything.
Every crop?
Every crop.
Wow. And do you subsoil at all?
No. In some cases, especially here in the beginning, that the trucks have okay, but not all the field. Only in some parts that you see it's not so good, or especially in beside the plot, but not enter the plot.
Tom, if you just turn around, if you pan round, just have a look at the lorry. Go the other way because you're not in the sun. You can just see that's a farm lorry they're using. That will hold 34 to 36 tons of crop in it, but they also have a different configuration which would go up to 64, is that right? 64 tons?
Yes, until you have beginning around 26 and then bigger. The
and
bigger
you'd have
is this.
two trailers, would you? For 64.
Yes.
And then the interesting thing is that their model here is they're very cooperative minded in this business. So they have their own cooperative, which, let me get this right, there are 15 farms in the cooperative. Is that right?
15?
In your cooperative?
No, we have 500 farmers.
Oh, really?
Yes, in this cooperative, and 120,000 hectares.
Okay.
For all these farmers.
Yeah, and you're a board member of the cooperative.
Yes, one of the 9.
Yeah,
of the
but
board.
you have to buy all of your chemicals, fertilizer, and you have to sell everything for the cooperative.
Yes.
So it's a full guarantee
Yes.
cooperative.
Yes.
And that's working really well for you as a business.
Yes, I think you focus more on the field, on your work, and beside this you have a lot of people, a team that work specifically to buy better,
At the
to
best
buy
prices.
yes, because it's example. If I need to buy only for me, it's a volume. For cooperatives, the volume biggest, and then you have more to negotiation for prices.
Yes. So the other thing I was learning about was that the full guarantee is sort of an interesting concept, because I know we've got that in the UK, but I would suggest probably not everybody's doing that. But it's all or nothing. You can't sort of pick or choose, can you? You have to fully support it, which is an interesting model. And just looking at the colour of this, it's extraordinary. I mean, it's really bright from the sun. So we've now come out to the fields and we're harvesting maize here, and the field that's just to the back of us, Bruno was just telling me that over the weighbridge, which they've just finished, they've got a weighbridge here and they've got the silos. They did 15.2 tonne a hectare, so he's pretty pleased with that. And we've got 3 combines here, 2 John Deeres and 1 New Holland, is that right?
Yeah, here 3 John Deere. New Holland is in the other field.
Whose is there's a New Holland over there, is that a neighbour?
No,
then?
this is for the neighbour.
Oh, neighbour,
yes.
sorry, okay,
yes.
right, so there's 3 John Deeres in here.
Yes.
And they've got 2 chaser bins, about 12 to 16 tonne each per combine. So they're running pretty quickly.
Yes.
And they've got a sort of 185 horsepower tractor on the front. And the reason they run this is, rather than having enormous chaser bins, is better for stability, and also they're worried about compaction. Because they're not cultivating, they are doing no-till. So the next crop that's going in here will be a cover crop, and then they're going to go in with the barley. And I was just looking at the mass here. I mean, there's quite a debris on the floor, and this is 15 years. Is that right? A no-till? 15 years of no-till.
Yes, around these 15 to 20 years.
So that's the root structure for the maize there. And you're seeing that's just going pretty much straight down rather than side out, so there's not compaction in this land. You see, Tom, I don't know if you could turn around, you should be able to see this combine going past, but that's a 21, you said 21 rows?
Yes.
0.45 per row.
Yes, 21 lines.
And that's between there to there is.
Yes, 45 centimeters.
Yeah. Okay. So you're drilling with a 45 rather than a 50.
Yes. In the past, for 10, 15 years ago, was 80, but we noticed it's better 45 because the fertilizer is near for barley. That is an agriculture.
Yeah.
If you want to go, I stop them.
Okay, let's go. So
Okay.
I'm going to jump on the combine. There's the 21 rows at 0.45 on a John Deere S780. It's quite tall. I mean, it's nearly the top of the cab. Really golden. And you have them on little tractors, 180 horsepower. These guys on the chaser bins are really busy. So you very kindly just let me go on the combine, but the driver of course is Portuguese, and because I've got no, there's no phone signal at all out here, we've got absolutely nothing. Unless we get the Starlink working in one of the vehicles. So I wasn't able to do translate and say anything to him, so we sort of had to pretend with actions. But what was outstanding was when I was inside the combine and we were combining, is the height of it. We think it's about 10 foot high, and it's really high, and it's almost at the top of the combine cab when you're combining. But Tom, if you could just scroll down the line of the crop, look at the uniform of the crop. It's the same height all the way through. And we were just talking about how are you getting the crop to be so uniformed and it not be sort of like this with, and he was saying that first of all, it's actually the planting is what is the first thing, is that they're using a horse maestro when they do the maize and the soybean, and they're saying that what it's quite good at, they go quite slowly, they only do 5 to 6 kilometers an hour, but the maestro will plant it very even depth, and that's the first way of getting an even germination. And then they're spending a lot of time on nutrients, because the blender fertilizers which are coming into the country are blended by the port, can be quite hit and miss in terms of its spreading ability and quality. So they're having to spend a lot of time on creating their own liming and nutrient application with the sprayers to try and even up the crop. And I mean, it really does stand out actually how uniform this is.
Yes.
And I was saying, why don't you use liquid fertilizer? And they're saying that the sprayers are so busy because it's all such a small window of crop growth, that it's better for them to put granule on. And you're putting granule on as well with the seeders, is that right? When you're drilling? When you plant, you put the fertilizer on as well.
Yes, in the line.
In the slot.
Yes, in the slot.
So it's a culture here. Is that the same when you do the barley?
Yes, the same.
Everything.
Yes, soybean not after barley, because we put in the barley, and then after barley in the soybean no fertilizer, and in the corn, and if I have another culture example, black beans, I put in the line too.
Yeah. So black beans is quite interesting. So that would be what we would think of as horse beans, but it's the black beans almost, they're a black version. The best way I could describe it, it's almost like a kidney bean, apart from they're not the shape of a kidney, so you could almost say it's not the same. But anyway, the concept is that they eat rice and black bean, pretty much with every meal. So there's a big requirement out here for black bean, and we had a look at it on the way here on his brother's farm. He grows the black bean, but it doesn't look like our horse bean. Do you get our bean? You know the beans we have in Europe? which are the big chunky beans. Do you grow them?
Yes, in fact here usually is the black beans.
Yeah.
Not, but you have in other region, example Rio de Janeiro, Minas Gerais, in other state, the consumption sometimes is more for the brown beans than the black beans. It's more
different
culture.
Areas. Okay.
Yes.
So they also do the red beans, like a kidney bean, but he was saying to me that the shelf life before the colour spoils is quite quick. It's weeks, didn't you say? Maybe 2 weeks?
Yes, 2 and 3 weeks maximum in the farm. Then after this you lose the colour and lose the quality.
And they can't get the premium.
And in the black beans you don't have this so much. You can, example, 1 year in the sun. And the black beans, I forgot to talk, this is the beans for the feijoada, for the famous eating for Brazil.
Yeah.
It's the black beans.
Yeah. I bet we're going to have black beans for lunch, aren't we?
But I think. I'm not sure, but I think.
I'll get a picture of the black beans so you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So Bruno's put his own electric system in for the farm, and he's built a hydroelectric 400 kilowatt system. So he's got 2 turbines here, so that the river comes round. They partially dammed it, and then they channel some of the water off down a channel, which then comes down these 2 pipes, goes into 2 separate turbines, which then go into the river on the other side. And then there's the control house is just behind here, which is, they've got a gentleman here who's monitoring the flow of the water, etc. So Bruno was just explaining to me that they've turned it off currently at the moment because it's actually quite dry.
Yes.
But they're going to just turn it on so we can see the turbines working. But you built this project, you say 2016?
Yes, for the decade for the 60. And this was building in this period because we don't have energy in the country of Paraná, of the state Paraná. Then you have these or you don't have electric
and what about
energy.
solar?
This was more because to drying the corn, to drying
you need a lot of electric.
Yes, you need this to the farm, not only to live in this period for the decade.
We're about 2 kilometers, are we, from the building?
Here, in fact, this factory was to 3 farms. One farm is the Reinhofer Group, Campo Bonito, around 3 kilometers, and the other 2 farms here, right from me, is 1.5 kilometers, and the others is beside Campo Bonito, 3.5 kilometers.
Okay, so you've got 3 farms you're looking after.
Yes, for this factory.
Interesting. And then in terms of batteries, do you have batteries as well?
Batteries?
Yes, so does any spare electric go into batteries to charge the batteries like the...
No, energy directly for the farm, and then the farm or use or lose.
Yeah, okay.
It's not to storage.
And then there's no income because you're not going back down the grid, it is just purely your own electric.
In this period, yes. Nowadays we sell.
Okay.
It's better you sell the energy that you use.
Oh really?
Yes.
Well, it's cheaper.
Yes.
Oh, so not cheaper to buy in.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get paid more to sell.
Yes.
Huh, amazing. And so you built this, 10 years now?
No, the building was 2010, December 2010.
Oh right, 16 years.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then in terms of more projects for energy, do you think you'll build more of these?
Yes, in the past we have 2 projects bigger than like this.
On other farms?
In these farms, here in the same river, but for the moment of the country, it's not profitable nowadays to construction. You need our company that usually construction this electric power is because use or demanding energy, but it's not the case of the group because the group have only this plant in the headquarters and the use not so much. So, example for comparing an industry or big factories.
Requirement.
Yes.
So you was explaining to me on the way here in the car that the maize at the moment is going off to the cooperative, which is about 15 kilometers away. And the soybean is going to go into the silos.
Exactly.
But the harvest is about 1 month, did you say?
Yes, more 1 month, 1 month and a half maximum, depends the weather.
Yeah.
But I prefer to receive in my soybean, and I can't receive corn and soybean I need to choose.
One or the other, yeah.
Yes, and then I prefer soybean because
more value.
Volume, it's not so, the risk is not so much, and it's more profitable to receive that compared to corn that you need to dry a lot, and
yes, of course.
It's
big,
more
higher moisture in corn, a lot of work.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
This machinery is the same for the 60 decade. Of course, only painting, but this structure is the same.
As what?
For the 60 years.
Really?
Yes. Same structure.
So it's old technology?
Huh?
It's old technology?
Yes, old technology.
So the water comes in and goes out, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And this is running now?
Yes.
And then what is this over here?
And here is the energy. Melhores essa construída agora na década de 60, né?
71.
In 71 was the first year operational 100%. 71. I said decade 60, but decade 60 was the beginning, but 100% was in 1971.
Wow.
Was the first year that was 100%.
Hydroelectric.
Yes.
Yeah. And what is this?
This is because in the past was other machinery for this. Example is not more water and the guy is not here, and this is automatic. Stop it. And before this one need this man here.
Big lever. Winding handle.
Yes.
Okay.
It's only to automatically.
So this is a hydraulic motor to close.
Yes, exactly. Close and open.
And this is. So where is the generator underneath? Or is this the generator?
Yes, this is a generator.
Okay.
Yes.
It's quiet.
Yes.
Really quiet.
Yes. Here, this one is, the other machine is more loud.
Okay.
It depends the structure
The size.
for them. Yes.
Yeah.
The size and the volume of water.
Yeah.
But this of the other, this big plant is silent. It's not so loud.
Yeah. I love the fact that you've got a problem like no electricity and you want to build a grain store, so you solve the problem by building your own hydroelectric scheme.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. That's what I love about people when I travel, like yourselves and the Australians, is the can-do attitude.
Yes.
So Bruno's just brought me into, he's making his, basically, you could almost call it his own nutrients, chemical control. So this is biological shed, and it used to be for the cattle. So the cattle pens are to the side of us, and he's converted this into his own biological shed for his sprayers, basically. So he's going to take us around and show us what he's making. But what did you say was in the bag?
Milk powder.
A milk powder?
Yes, powder.
Why, for the bacteria?
Yes.
Oh, it's for the bacteria?
Yes.
So what have we got here then?
This is only the stock that if I have 1 month, not 1 week with raining, I can't spray this, then I stock here and begin another.
Oh, okay, it's just a bit of storage.
Storage.
And then these big tanks out here, these are
this is for water. Bring water.
To bring the water in?
Yes.
So what are you using to make this, what is this?
This is more to improve the environment for the soil. And then I have here soil for the foresting. And then here I put 20 kilograms every one this year.
20 kilograms of what?
Soil.
Of soil?
Yes.
What, dirt?
Soil.
Really?
Yes. And this bacterium, I want to multiplicate it. And then after these 3 days with this, with air, and then after 3 days in the field. But not in commercial culture, only in cover crop culture.
Okay.
To not have a problem with other things,
so
with disease or.
You're spraying this then?
Yes.
Through the sprayer. So this is filtered.
Yes, and then after this, 80 liters per hectare.
So
I spray.
Is it through a nozzle or through a fertilizer nozzle in streams?
No, normal. The for spraying.
Okay.
The same of agriculture or chemical spraying. I spraying this. The name is TMT.
So you've got soil, water, and you put some milk powder in there.
Yes, and then sugar cane.
Oh, sugar cane, yeah.
Yes, and 4 different mills, rice mills.
Oh, yeah.
Mills, I think.
Yeah.
Mills, and then like a tea.
Oh, so it's basically you're making tea.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's the best way to describe it.
Yes.
And are they all the same?
Yes, all the same.
The whole room?
Same. Yes. But I don't need this room. This is enough nowadays because I don't have so much areas that I have harvest, because I only put this after the harvesting.
Okay,
just to planting the cover crop.
So when will you plant the cover crop on the harvest now?
Yes. Nowadays I use this to planting the cover crop. We see this in the machinery.
Okay. And what difference does this make to the yield?
Make the difference. After 3-4 years, you notice the disease is better. It's not so much.
Okay.
It's more balanced. I don't know the name.
So it's not yield, it's more about controlling yields and reducing your insecticide,
but
pesticides.
But consequence, you have more stability of yield. Not a yield so bad, but you have not a plot so high and another so less.
Yeah.
You have more stability for plots.
Which is what we could see in the field in your corn. Yes. It was very even.
I have more variety for varieties than for different spots.
Interesting.
Nowadays.
And how long have you been doing this?
Here 3 days.
This is 3 days worth?
No, this began, I think I need to check yesterday, but I need minimum 3 days with air. Okay. Then use, not before.
And when did you build this shed?
When did I build this? 2001.
Oh, long time.
So
25 years.
No, 2021.
Oh, 21. Sorry.
5 years. No, 5 years.
And where did you learn how to do this?
This was so. In the past, we have this livestock in the other farm, a lot of livestock, and then menu that for the livestock.
Yeah.
I don't know the name. Menu.
Yeah.
I know my grandfather spraying in the choose plot beside the structure for more than 20 years ago. And during 20 or 30 years. Okay, then after this we only agriculture, not more livestock. But we saw in this plot you have the same chemicals level, example phosphorus, potassium, and this way the same structure for physical, but the yield is very different for beside the spot. And what is the difference? Physical okay, chemical okay, biological. But we know, but we can't see.
Okay, so you've replaced the cow with this.
Not a cow, but the balance of you have in the example in the foresting. Because in the foresting you don't have a rust example, a disease, because it's balanced. And this you don't have in a field open for agriculture. Okay. And this is to try to need a little a balance again, or in this way.
Yeah. This is extraordinary.
And I noticed this in the roads. I noticed a different example in worm.
Yes.
You have more worm. And you see the biologicals is better, but it's different to measure. Okay, Bruno, but 80 liters is good. It's not more better. I don't know. This level I don't have.
Any negatives? Any downside?
I don't see. I can't see negative points of this.
Okay.
And it's cheap because it's cents of. I think this is 1 cent of euro example. It's very cheap.
Oh, really?
The expensive is to
it's quite a strong smell though, isn't it?
Yes,
smell.
But nichos, a good thing is good smell. If you have a bad smell, it's probably not a good product.
Okay. So you can determine by how it smells how good it's going to be.
And this is another indicative. This because this that you see the bubbles is because the bacterium has working, has multiplied.
You want to come and have a look, Tom? Well, what is this bit here?
This is the meal, the soil, all you put here.
Oh, you put in that hole?
This is the tea.
Oh, and it goes out. Okay, understand.
Yes, the tea. Here is only water.
So this doesn't need filter because that's the filter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
This is only the water with the tea. This is the product then.
Yeah.
Then after this, I only put out the water. This leaf here, and then I put another water.
Yeah, I understand. So you turn the tap out.
Exactly.
Turn it off. Refill.
Exactly.
Back in there.
And then no, this leaf I saw. I only put sugar cane because sugar, and this milk. Only this, and then more 3 days, and then I cook that, and then 7 times I do this in every, and then every 7 times I cut everything, I cleaning everything, and begin for the beginning.
Two 1050s here, which they're all fully jeweled up front and back, which they're using for their seeding. They've got 18 meter. They call them Dakars. I've been having a look at it. It's almost semi-serto. But it's got a power down ram, you can see just on the front here of the mechanism, but it's got quite a long arm, so that's what they're putting the barley in with. And then they've got fertilizer kit on the front, so they've got the fert tank here, and they're able then to, what is it, it's basically it's 1,000 litres, and they're putting that on while they're seeding, and you can see how that's piped up on the machine. There's like these little blue pipes going down to each one of these and then dripping down into it. And you see on the opposite side of this room, they've got these maestros. I had a maestro once, which was a 12 metre, but I think these again are 18 metres. Yeah. So 36, 45 spacing, so it's just shy of 18 metres. This must be 16, quick maths. But that's got a front disc putting the fertiliser in. It's cutting the trash in front, you can see, followed by the Maestro type design, put seeding behind. Yeah, it's nice, smart. It's a smart farm, this, very smart farm. So they've got a hook lift system. So they've got the water bowsers on a hook lift frame. They've got like the low loader frames here. They've got their skip systems all on the hook lift. And then so they've gone down the horse route now with the sprayers. So just cleaning that down. And it's quite interesting. Instead of using concrete, they're using these almost granite blocks, and they're placing them like this, and all their yards are done with this style. This is the same combine as I was on. This is soybean harvest now. So they've changed the front, and they're onto this now. The temperature's up now. Typically they would have plenty of green leaf, but typically they'd have no green leaf. There's plenty of green leaf this year because the seed has died and is ready to harvest at 12-13%. But the leaf just hasn't died. But actually he was saying, Bruno was telling me, that's actually often shows that it's going to be a very good yielding crop. And the yield monitor on the combine is currently showing 5.2, and he says anything over 5 tonne a hectare is a really good yield. So you come and look at the seed, you can see that's typically what soybean looks like. So quite different. And you've got what, 4 in a pod, something of that ilk. So it's basically a pod game. So the more pods you got on there, technically the more yield you've got. Drilled again. If you look round, Tom, you can see the lines. You can see it was drilled again with the Maestro. So you've got the 45 distance between. And yeah, it's quite a lot. Look at the back of the combine. You can see there's quite a lot of green coming out of it. But the combine's coping. And yeah. I think that's going to be a bit wetter than they think. Now, I'm not a soybean expert, but I think 16%. We'll find out. Temperature's picked up now. It's getting quite warm. I think that a couple of us might be getting a bit of a suntan. It's getting warm now, isn't it? What temperature do you think? 30?
No,
temperature. I think it's 30
Now?
degrees, yeah.
31, I
31,
think.
yeah, I could
32
feel it.
maximum.
Yeah, I
okay.
could feel it, yeah.
Oh, but this 31.
But it's been a fantastic visit here. I mean, it's extraordinary seeing the biological shed and what they're doing. And he's got a sort of, one for a better word, a chemist, which he got out of the beer making world to come and help with this. And then he's got, you know, Tom pans round. He's got what looks like a, I could barely describe it. It's like a sort of a tennis ball sat up in a frame. But that's so he puts bacteria and things in that. And they have a problem. They said that when they apply the tea and with the bacteria, they can't do it in the hot temperatures because it will damage the bacteria. So, and then they're using the bowsers over here as well for carrying it. But it's been an amazing trip. I've learnt a lot.
Okay.
I've really enjoyed it, Bruno, and look forward to seeing you in England because you
Yes.
told me your son is very mad keen on football
Yes.
and wants to come to England to see Manchester, you said.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Virgil.
Thank you.
For the
Appreciate
visit.
it.
And I think I hope a little to understand agriculture in Brazil, or especially here in this region. And I'm here open. The doors are open for us. And thank you for horse company.
Be careful what you wish for, inviting people.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Okay.